आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, the sensory and motor organs, and the life force all become efficient and perfected. All is verily the one without second, absolute, full of bliss, conscious existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny this ultimate truth of oneness of all existence. May this Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues which are described by the Upanishads as necessary to realize this truth be with me who is desirous of experiencing the true self. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel our ego, which separates us from the true existence, the Brahman, is like a pot made of ice, immersed in the infinite ocean. The pot is creating the division inside and outside, I and the world. I am seeing that the pot is dissolving, melting away. Gone. The ego is gone. The illusory distinction of inside and outside has vanished. All is the one without second, infinitely luminous and blissful existence itself. There is no distinction at all. Gone are all the problems, all the sufferings coming in life due to this fictitious distinction. I am Brahman. The one without second, whom peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us begin this 82nd class, and we are continuing this with the story of Prithu for this class, but hopefully we shall be able to come to conclusion of this whole very beautiful, very illuminating episode of King Prithu. So let us begin with our regular chant, which happens to be the first verse of this great treatise, Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratashchartheshvabhijñaswarat tene brahmhrida ya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So, in the last Friday's class we were seeing that how there, as the sacrifice of Prithu had concluded and he was leading afterwards, that they, according to the instructions of the Lord, that one should do whatever comes to your lot as your duties. In case of Prithu, it is the ruling of this kingdom in the proper way as has been described in the books of Dharma. Dharma means the righteousness in this context. It doesn't mean that a particular religion, but it is that by which each person following his or her own dharma advances towards the ultimate goal. And it requires that you do whatever work comes to you. And you don't have to change the work as such. Only the attitude with which the work is being done needs to be shifted. Like the analogy I love, that if you are driving in the wrong direction, all that you need to do is to change the direction of the car. You don't have to buy a new car, you see. So, just whatever work we are doing, let that work be done with this attitude that I am really divine, this life is evanescent, and thus keep oneself completely unattached with all these relations in the world. Let us see that they are just temporary. And thus we will not get attached to them when we see them as evanescent and temporary. There is then all the poison in those events or incidents that would make us get caught in it, it will just vanish. So, and one has to keep on doing one's works in this spirit. So, it is, one can understand this, if you read Swami Vivekananda's book Karma Yoga, there is an important chapter in that each is great in his or her own place. Means one should become great by following each person's separate work. The work will not, if everybody becomes a teacher, then it is a problem, nobody will get the job, and then what about all the other works in the society, who is going to do those? Similarly, everybody has a role to play. It is like the head has a role to play in our personal life. Feet has a role to play. Feet are used for walking. Head is used for thinking. Now, if the feet say, no, this walking is very laborious, let me start thinking, and if the head decide that, let me start walking, what will happen? Imagine, it is all, the head will be useless and the feet also will be useless. So, do the work that has come to you because of your skills, the need of the society and so forth. Do that work, but without getting attached, feeling this sense of dedication that it is God alone is getting it done from me. So, the work of this King Prithu was ruling the kingdom, and he did all that. And while he was doing this, it is Sanat Kumaras visited him and gave him the same advice that was earlier also given in a different way. The scriptures, what they do is they tell the same thing, nothing is new, only the emphasis is different every time. A new way of putting this truth in our awareness is used, that's all. There is a beautiful verse in Sanskrit, Shlokardhena pravakshami yaduktam granthakotibhi. What has been told in millions and millions of these books, let me tell you that in half the verse. The verse has 2 lines. The first line is spent in telling this, and then the next half of this verse is being said, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva na Paraha. That is the truth that has been illustrated variously, explained with different analogies and metaphors from the mouths of various different sages, so that we will finally get it in our understanding and awareness bit by bit. So, the last that line is that Brahman alone is the truth, and whatever you see this appearance, it is mithya, means it is appearance, it has no substance there. Just as you see the mirage, the water is seen, but it is a visual deception, there is actually no water there, but you see the water. So, similarly, all this that we perceive through our senses and mind, I and you, certain things we like, certain we dislike, we form various types of relationships with different things, like these are my parents, these are my children, and these are my friends and siblings and all that. We form these relationships, and then we get caught in those non-existent things. So, that is how this bondage persists. Our getting caught in non-existent things is a very funny thing, that is why to get out of it is becomes very difficult. That it is like it is possible comparatively easily to make a man wake up if the person is actually sleeping. Hey, John, come on, wake up, we have to go now. So the John, oh, is it? Okay. So wakes up, and then that's all. But suppose if that John is faking to be asleep, now you may keep on calling and shaking, the fellow will not wake up because he is not actually asleep. So, a person who is caught in some real bondage, you can cut that bondage. But this is the bondage of just appearance. How are you going to remove it by any action as such. Only the knowledge can remove it, that it is unreal. So, that is the substance in all these great scriptures, whether they are ancient or modern, Eastern or Western, whatever you may, wherever you may find them, but the substance is this, that this world that you are seeing, which is and which you are got caught in it, just is coming and going. You don't really require scriptures also to tell this to you. And do I need to read Bhagavad Gita to see that the world is transitory? Just open the eyes and see it is coming and going. So many things, they come and they go. It is, the world is like this. It is just using the brain. We have that, but as one Swami used to say, for with most of us, it is a structural component only, not a functional component. If it becomes functional component in this way, then that can tell us that the world is not real. But where the scriptures step in then? They tell that there is the God who is real, the self, whatever you may call, or Atman, that is real. That knowledge one can never get by using the intellect. One can get the knowledge of illusoriness of this world by just exercising our intellect. But the knowledge that God alone is real, you require scriptures for that, the words of the sages for that. There is a beautiful aphorism in what is called Brahma Sutra or Vedanta Sutra or Vyasa Sutra, that it is the aphorism in the first chapter, aphorism number 3. The first aphorism says that Athato Brahma Jidnyasa, now therefore arises the desire to realize the truth, the Brahman in life. Because you have used the intellect and then finished with this understanding that this world is not real. So now you have the desire to see that which is real. When I am holding on to this world as real, then I do not get Brahma Jidnyasa, means the desire to realize the Brahman, the truth. That doesn't come because, whatever I am seeing is real. When one exercises intellect properly and sees this obvious factual reality that it is just a passing show, there is not even an iota that is real about it, absolutely nothing there. Then what is real? Okay, that is, now you are ready to ask this question. You are now qualified seeker of the truth because you have understood this fact by proper observation and exercising your discretion, intellect in what you observe. Now this has come to you. Now then the question becomes meaningful, then what is real? So this is now therefore the search into the nature of the reality, that is first aphorism. And the second aphorism tells the nature of this universe, this Brahman. What is real? just that from which all this appears, into which it stays and into which it dissolves. That is Brahman Janmadyasya Yato. That is the Brahman. That is how this our chant also begins. Janmadyasya yatonvayadi taratah. This Janmadyasya yatah. That is that second aphorism of Brahma Sutra. And third aphorism that is coming here into focus now is Shastra Yonitvat. It is from the scriptures you can see this. The aphorisms are, great texts. You have to ponder a lot, think a lot to get the meaning. So this is a very pithy statement that it is, you can get it from the scriptures. That is where the source of this is. Means you cannot get it through intellect and senses. Period. It is only through the revelations of the great sages that you can get it. So that is how these sages here are telling how one will be able to get this truth. So here it is described that the life has to be changed according to nature of the reality. Just as suppose there is something behind Richard there. So to whatever there is, many chairs are there and there is the children's room there. So to see the children's room, what Richard has to do? Change the orientation, change the way he is sitting, look back, change. So our orientation of life is to be changed. And because of our addictions to this orientation, it becomes difficult. So it is told therefore that look, very practical things. Changing the orientation is a practical thing. Oh fellow, just get up, move your the seat and then look there. It is a practical thing, not that it requires that big Kant's principles of pure reason and all that. It is not needed for that. And just practical thing, change the orientation. So what should we do? Do those things by which the truth will be able to come into your awareness. Change your life in that way. Also, other thing, by that, avoid that, doing which it becomes further complicated bondage for you. So both these things are to be followed, actually done in life. So we saw that practices of non-injury, detachment, self-control, avoiding criticism of the faith of others, all this is to be done. That we can see that makes our life focused on the truth. Then what should be avoided? That eschew the company of those interested in sense enjoyments. Avoid the company of those because in their company all those impressions that we have, they also get enlivened. So, avoid being in company of such people. It is not that they are bad people, it is not that they are felons or but they are after sense enjoyments. In fact, such people may get a lot of glorification in the world, but that is their life is towards self, that sense aggrandizements, and so those pleasures they seek. And if you get into their company, remember, we have to remember this, that we have those impressions too, and when we go in that company, they also get awakened. Let me also do like that. Even that thought doesn't come, it becomes an action, because you are in the company of those. I was telling the other day that I was returning from my high school. I was walking, and then there was a procession that was going on, a protest procession. Charlie, do you know protest processions? Okay, good, yeah. So, so in the protest processions now, I was not as such going to be a part of that. I didn't know what it is going for. But since all of them were going on the same road, I also got into it. A big crowd. And then I also walked, and then soon I also started shouting like them. I didn't start pelting the stones, but I got that thought that I should also pick a stone and smash some with that glass panes, because that crowd, they were doing like that, hey, down with this, and thus you get into that mood too. See how the company changes, it is, I had absolutely nothing to do with what they were protesting about. That also I didn't really know what was all this about. So, it is, and yet because of the company you get drawn into it. So, therefore, one should be very careful not to get into it. Even don't criticize them, because that is again getting associated with them at the thought level. So, do not even go to condemn the people who are going after sense enjoyments. That is not our job. Whatever they feel right, let them do. It is we should follow our path without getting caught with them. Well, your path is different, my path is different. That it is, you go to the airport and there are people there, some are flying to California, some are flying to Florida. So, now you go to wherever you are flying, you don't go to convince, hey, I am going to Florida, don't go to California and all that. Oh, your job is there, you have to go there, go. Bye, all the best. But you don't follow them. So, similarly, there are people who are after sense enjoyments. That is their path, let them go, wish them all the best. But my path is different. This is very important. And then another thing that they have mentioned, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell that don't go to those places frequented by such people. Avoid going there. The life has to be given direction in a very, a determined way. One has to make determined decisions in life. Otherwise, no, not possible for me. Well, why not possible for me? Think about it. It is, I have to make choices, and when you make a right choice, we have to assiduously hold on to that. There will be problems, there will be difficulties. I had told that incident that it is one couple, I used to be in Nagpur then, that they were saying both were working husband and wife, they had 2 children, and then they were initiated a few years ago by the then president of our order. But then they said, what, we don't find time, to meditate the mind also, therefore, what happens? See, every morning we do some meditation a little bit, but it is so much busy, and get the children ready to go to school and our jobs and all that. So, not much time, and in the evening we come back after our work, then there are children, they are playing, and there are so many, we have been here for so many years. So, people come to meet, we have so many acquaintances, so many relatives, and so sometimes we are going to somebody's home, sometimes they are coming to us, sometimes we all together go to some beach or some movie or whatever, and so that is how the whole time is spent. And it looks so bad that if people are coming to us and then you go and sit for meditation, how will it be? We have to properly welcome them, show some good hospitality, and then since they came, when they invite us, we also have to go, and it is a never ending cycle. We have to appreciate the gifts, the presents that they make, and we also have to buy a corresponding present to give to them, and all the days get occupied with this, and the thought of these things, not only the time, but the thought. So, I said, well, the problem is there, but there is solution also. There is no problem which has no solution. If there is a problem, then there is a solution too. But one does not like to apply that solution. The real problem is our lethargy or our inertia, that, oh no, we don't want to stir from our position. Then Richard cannot look back, no, it is, no, let me just sit like this. Now, not that because you are sitting like this, the God will take compassion and put eyes on your back there. No, it is, and even if He puts, you will shut those, what can be done. So, it is, therefore, we have to really just kick out that inertia and work to that. So, I told, look, why don't you, after your work, just pick the children and then come straight to the center there and meditate there, join the arati, meditate there, and then afterwards go home after meditation. No, but the people would be coming. Those were not the days of cell phones or information and nothing. People would just show up. But people will be coming, they will have to, and how it will not look good, and people will criticize us. I said, let them criticize. What is they? Do you want to do something? Do they criticize when they come, suppose during your work time, you are away for work, and then do they criticize because they do not find you at home? They do not, because they know that this is the time for that you are busy with work. Now, this is more important than work, isn't it? Isn't it more important that brings you the highest good of life? It is more important, and therefore, people will criticize one day because they do not understand. They will criticize 3 days, 5 days, and then they have their other business, they would forget. But you have to make the sacrifice that you will then you won't have that fun with them, so called fun. You won't have contacts with them. So all that will have to be done, because you actually have to form the relation with God, and so you have to break those relations. Otherwise, you will not be able to do that. So, very important. What is the use of keep on rowing the boat without untying it from the bank? How far will the boat go, Abhishek, if it is tied to the bank and you are it won't go anywhere. So, those old connections, they have to be cut, untied, and then you can form the connection with God. You cannot keep both, and this sacrifice one has to make. And for everything we make this sacrifice. Suppose you want to say, you want to buy a shirt, say. Now, a shirt costs, say, $10. So, now, if you say, no, I do not want to give up $10, then you do not get the shirt, you see. You have to spend to get, you have to give to get. So, to get connection with God, one has to give up. Without that, friends, just think, is it possible without that? We take pride in that we are thinking species, we are human beings endowed with the faculty of deep thinking. So, this is simple thinking. So, we have to take the practical step for that purpose. It may not be very sweet to do that, but we have to do it, that is it. There is no sweet options there. Do not frequent to those places where the people who are attracted to sense enjoyments go. It is for that purpose. Sri Ramakrishna used to say that if you are not eating fish, why you need to go in the fish market? You do not need to. It is so very simple. All those ideas by which you will get otherwise caught in that. So, that is to be avoided. It is Narada in his aphorisms on devotion says, Dussangah sarvathaiva tyajah. Dussanga means that which is hurting to your spiritual progress, that is an impediment on your path. So, do not stick to that, just remove that impediment mercilessly. Howsoever nice it may look, it is an impediment, it has to be removed. So, it is now they are not bad people, friends. They are all good people in their own way, but good does not mean that they are good for us to follow. Our path is different. Those who are spiritual seekers, their path is different, and they are few and far between. We have to remember this, that whether they are monastics or householders or whatever, they are always few and far between, not in these times alone, even in the times of Bhagavad Gita. He has said, Krishna says, in thousands of human beings, one may get this idea that kaschid yatati siddhaye, one may just make efforts in this direction, one in thousands. So, friends, how fortunate we are, isn't it? We are one among such thousands, if we are actually making this effort. So, the reward is there. Jesus therefore says so clearly, broad is the way, smooth seems to be the path, and multitude is going on that. That leads to destruction. Narrow is the path, difficult, and few are walking on that. That is the path that leads to liberation. You can read it in the Sermon on the Mount. All sages tell this exactly the same thing in different ways. So, here Sanat Kumar is telling him, and Sanat Kumar further tells, that it is when you do it, what happens? There is what we were meditating upon, as you move there, the distinction between inside and outside starts vanishing. The self is all that is. The ego, the pot of ego was making this distinction. This distinction is fictitious, can be easily understood. It does not require scripture. As I told earlier, that external and internal, what is this? Just think, that the eyes are internal, but what the eye sees, that is external. But then, compared to the mind is internal, the eyes are external. So, actually this is just fictitious. The food that you see outside of your body, external, and that becomes internal. You swallow it, it is internal. Are the guts internal or external? Who knows, It is, depends. When they are, surgically, operated and taken out, now you can see it is outside, inside it is not inside anymore. So, outside and inside, a very funny, very illogical idea, but very assiduously held on to by people who are caught in this world. In fact, that becomes the bondage. That creates internal, external, mine, yours, and all bondage. It is, so therefore, it is, he says, the aspirant whose mind has been thus burnt up and is thereby freed from the limitations imposed on it, sees no longer an inside and an outside for the Atman. Same Atman everywhere. See, no boundary. Because it is actually not there. It is a fictitious boundary. One has to, change the life in this direction. Keep on telling oneself that this is only a fictitious boundary. I and the world. It is not real at all. So, that is how, you see, this distinction between internal and external has to be seen and eliminated. And then what remains is God, that the scriptures tell about. That is matter of actual experience of Sri Ramakrishna and so many other who are at that level, at that stage. You then experience it when you move your orientation of your awareness, then you see what is there. You realize it, you experience it. So, this is a practice that one has to keep up with. It may require 100 years or 1000 years, doesn't matter. How long it takes doesn't matter. One has to keep at it. Whenever it is done. It is, it is like one of our volunteers used to say, if I ask, well, when will you be coming today? I can't tell. It is when I am there, I am there. When I will be there, that's it. It is because, you don't know how long it is going to take. It depends on so many factors. I will be going and shopping here. Now sometimes it takes long time. There are so many people and so you have to stand in line at the register, and then how much traffic will be there. It is not, I can't control that. If there is some accident somewhere, who knows. So therefore, I don't know how long it is going to take for me to realize God. But what does it matter, time is all gone then. The idea of time itself vanishes. So, therefore, internal and external, that division vanishes. Now, to make the long story short, Prithu ruled the kingdom for long time in this way, and then decides that it is now time to give it to my sons to rule further. I don't have to, according to the stage, now you take your life in a different way. It is good. As a child, you were going in the soccer field to play. Was very good at that time, but then you continue to do it when you are 75, that looks silly, you see. So there is other thing that is more important now. So it is, so this king realized that and so said, now he decided to go to forest. That is in our scriptures, Hindu scriptures, it is told Vanaprastha, that after discharging your duties of a regular householder's life, now you take up to the forest dwelling life, means remove yourself completely from all these duties and works that you were busy with, and fully engage yourself in spiritual practices only. So Prithu does that. It requires sense of detachment, It is doesn't come easy. One feels that no, I still should continue because people are dependent on me. If I don't do, who is going to do? Don't worry about it. It is the God's world will go on as God wishes. Who are you? So it is, even if you die, well, so many people have died, the world continues. It mourns for a day or so, and then everybody goes to one's business. It keeps on going. Nobody is indispensable. There is a nice song in Marathi, my language, that it is, people will say, weep for a moment, but what is going to stop, It is the sun and moon and stars will still be rising. The rains and this thing will still, seasons will keep on changing. Just because this fellow is gone, nothing really goes away. So let us not think that I am very important. No, I am absolutely not important. It is not that we feel the world is going on because of me. Oh no, in spite of your being there at such a troublemaker, God is managing it to move. That is the case. So this Prithu just left everything because he was not attached to it. He just left everything without a thought, and then busied himself in practice of austerities. There is the description of the austerities that he did. He and his wife both were left, and then Prithu then decided that it is time to give up the body too. And so it is described that he raised his kundalini, and then it is that it is shown, in the that there is a hole at the end of this Sushumna canal in the kundalini, and then your awareness keeps on rising from the lowest gradually, and you realize the truth in what is called the Sahasrara, 1,000-petaled lotus, where you see the oneness, or actually it is beyond name there. You don't know what to say. You realize the truth. And then there is no purpose left for life. Life is for realizing the truth. And so it just goes through a hole there. You don't see that hole in the book of anatomy or what, but it is all figurative. There may be one who knows, but it is said the life goes out of that. That is called Brahma Randhra. Randhra means hole, and so from that the life goes. So Prithu king let the life go like that. What a great life he led. And then knowing this, seeing this, his wife also decided to do the same thing, but one duty was left for her, that to cremate husband's body. In the forest, nobody was around there to do that work. So she made, with great courage, she made a wood pile and kept the body of the husband there, and then lighted the fire, and then herself went and sat on it too in the burning pyre, and did the same thing as the fire was burning both the bodies. She also let her limited existence merge with the infinite, and that is the end of the story of Prithu that we had been following for last many classes. And Maitreya, who was narrating this story to Vidura, the sage Vidura, he praises this story. There is the eulogy and all about it, that, well, if you read this story once, how pure you become. If you read it several times, what happens, and all your desires will get fulfilled. The point here is that everybody who reads will get an impetus, a push on one's own path of progress. So next class we will take up another story that is connected in a way. Means this Prithu's story came from Dhruva's story. Prithu was in a way descendant of Dhruva, and then we will hear about some descendants of Prithu and how their life was. We will just fast forward. There are many pages there, but we won't go into that, and we will take up what is called Rudra Gita in next class, what is told by the great Rudra, the Shiva. So we shall conclude and with this closing chant, and if anybody has some questions, we will discuss those. Nigamakkalpatarurgalitam phalam shukamukhadamritadrava-sanyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuruho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Devotees quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any question?
I was thinking that it would be very helpful if the readings in Sanskrit were posted on the website, just Sanskrit. Do we have some extended readings from? No?
Oh, well.
Sanskrit makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, it is, but you mean these Bhagavatam? They are available, on the websites. There are websites which give these Sanskrit renderings of these.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
they have plenty, lot of those things are available.
Okay.
Sanskrit in Devanagari script as well as transliterated into the Roman script. All is available, yeah.
Number 2. I think there's a spiritual practice you might consider. Go to the Providence Place Mall on a Saturday and walk through with somebody who you've to discuss whatever you'd like. Because when you go out in the world, it is all about excitement. They even market excitement online so that you don't get anything except electrons. and you get all stimulated by it. It's a
Well-
very strange world. It was never like this when I grew up. The good old days, post-World War II,
Well, it is.
much more human.
It is nothing like that, the world remains more or less same.
I disagree.
It is, when one grows older, then that is why old is gold. In my childhood, how nice the things were. No, nothing like that, It is, I beg to disagree with you on this point. Not that I am a young fellow, but it is, I see that the spiritual level and the level of morality, not that it was any better in the previous time. It is the same thing was going on then. Those days they were not doing what is it called, the crimes by, cyber crimes were not there, because that tool was not there. They were just breaking the locks by a hammer and chisel and all that. And now they break the software locks, That is the only difference, Yeah, the moral level I don't think has become worsened.
Have you read Swami Akhilananda? Swami
Yes.
Akhilananda has said something was shifting about 1965. Men were not developing in the same way. Something has shifted in the American way, and it's kept going.
Well, what is that shift is the shift in the means, not in the temperament as such. It is the shift in the means. People have always been even during Mahabharata and all, there were all these things rampant. In fact, the immoralities described there are much reduced now. The expressions have reduced. Not that I don't agree with you, dear. Sorry.
Well, I guess we can
I
disagree.
think this,
Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
Whereas this, I'm still confused between life, consciousness, and death. Somehow, when the life leaves, you said yes, it rises up and leaves through that 1,000 petal. But that's but when the life leaves, is it that part of consciousness that is leaving to merge with the consciousness? Then life is the definition of life in me or in us is a part of that one consciousness, which is going back to the consciousness. But if we are not enlightened, then where is this part of consciousness going to?
that is it. If one is not enlightened, then it doesn't go out through that. It goes to seek another body through different other holes, It is, in Kathopanishad that description is there, that there are thousands of other ways in which a person's then this individualized soul leaves the body to catch another body.
What is the difference between individualized, this is my main question, soul and that
Means
supreme consciousness?
Individualized means that which is caught in ignorance. The individuality, I am separate from the other, that is the ignorance. So one who is, say the word is not that correct, but one who is established in ignorance, that person, therefore, body has to be left. It cannot be used, whether you have knowledge or ignorance. The nature of the body is to be born, change and die. Now the body is to be left out, but what this is in ignorance, there are so many desires still bubbling. Now for that another body is manufactured to give expression to them. But when this person is not in ignorance, no inside and outside, was just carrying this semblance, it is with full knowledge. It is difficult to describe, answer this, but some analogies are given. It is a baby calling the animal cracker that is a horse, and they say, the mom of that baby, oh yes, this is horse, but the mom is aware that what is horse is also lion, and that is also a crocodile. That is the difference between the illumined. This I is now just like a shadow. There is no reality seen in that. So that is when you don't need any body. This body was going on because of the unspent karma, and so it goes. That's it. Yeah.
But who are you? When you said you and I are the same consciousness. So in that case, how can it be
When
like
you
my
know
soul,
this,
your soul? How is it?
when you know this, then that problem doesn't remain, dear. It is this problem, I and you, when you see that they are same, then there is no question. This is in ignorance, then where is you, where is I? Think about it. And yeah, then there is really nothing. But one is established in knowledge is one thing, but if one is established in stupidity, then that is the how it happens, you see.
But then if this sub-soul doesn't even exist, how can this sub-soul then go and catch another body? Because that's fiction.
That is, if the whole thing is fiction,
Yes, then how?
but within the fiction there are things happening, isn't it? That is why fictions sell more. The fictions catch attentions more.
Like a dream, right? Like a dream.
Yeah, like a dream, yeah. Anyway, so actually this is question answers, not back and forth. Thank you. Any question up there?
Yes, there are 2 web questions. First question from Michael Doyle. Swami, how does one know if one is experiencing genuine intuition or just more mental chatter?
Well, yes, Michael, it is depends on the life that you are leading, and what if you are free from all doubts, all desires, all worries, and no attachments, no I and mine, then that is intuition. Otherwise, it is certainly clutter, which sometimes takes the shape of intuition. It is not intuition there. Sometimes you know something without actually getting the sense information from the senses, and you may think that it is intuition. It is just a developed instinct, that's all. An instinct, you know something instinctively, that is not intuition. It is like a sense experience, but since it has been being done, exercise for a long time, it becomes an instinct, and you don't have to think about it. I would suggest read Swami Vivekananda's exposition on these 3 factors, instinct, reason and intuition. It will be very interesting reading, yeah.
Second question from Om Lassi.
Okay.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, Om.
From the Advaita standpoint, after the physical body dies, does the world drama continue? Because we heard that after us, the world vanishes.
Oh, well, the world vanishes not by dissolution of body. The world vanishes by dissolution of ego, ignorance. So otherwise, the one body will go, other body will get manufactured. So the world will still continue, the bodies will rise and fall. But if the delusion is there, new bodies will get generated. So it is only when the knowledge dawns, then whether a person is still using the body or is not using the body is not the question at all. The person can still continue to use this seemingly safe body, but there is now no ignorance there. The person is free, not at all attached to the body. Yeah. So, okay then. Thank you, Om. So, let us conclude with the closing chant. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol.